Hey everybody, welcome to Love and Reload, the voice of the relocation industry. I am your host, Ben Cross, and I am here on this wonderful Wednesday with my friend Jennifer Anderson. She is the president of Claim Shield. Hey Jennifer, how's it going?
Hey Ben, doing well. How are you?
I'm good. Now where in the world are you today, Jennifer?
I'm on Long Island.
Long Island. It's
Yep.
pronounced Long Island, okay? Where
Yes,
where whereabouts in Long Island are you? Suffolk or Nassau?
Suffolk.
Suffolk. All right. All
Yes.
right. She says that with an appropriate air. I
Yes.
appreciate that. Okay. But hey, shout out to my buddy TJ out there in Ronkonkoma, and the
Yeah.
people in Port Jeff. My,
Yep. Right by
my,
Port Jeff.
my people out there. Shout out. Yeah, so Jennifer, this is awesome. Hey, and everybody that's watching right now, tuning in, hit that like button, throw a little heart out there to us, rowdy Suffolk County in Long Island. We're gonna have some fun today. I love talking to New Yorkers. It brings me back, so I might get a little loosey goosey over here. I don't know. But yeah, leave some comments there. Let us know. Give yourself a shout out. Let me know where you're at, what you're doing, what's going on. Please leave questions for Jennifer. We're going to be talking about life. We're going to be talking about entrepreneurship. We're going to be talking about claims, risk, scary stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So let me know what your questions are for her or myself, and we're going to get to them here. We've got Timothy J. Quirk here. So happy to be here on a great snowy hashtag Western New York, WNY. It's not a thing, but it will be a thing whenever this show gets canceled, which could be tomorrow. Mark my words, hashtag WNY will be a thing. Shout out to him up there in Ra-cha-cha. Let's see here. Yeah, so anyway, let's just hop into it, Jennifer. Real
Sure.
quick, I want to know a little bit more. Oh, real quick, I got to shout out my girl Val. Val, what's up? Hey, Valerie with Deluxe Suites. Excited for today's show. Hit that like, hit that love, check in. All right, awesome. Okay, sorry, Jennifer. Back to you. It's about you. Um, Jennifer, tell us a little bit about Claim Shield, first of all, for people who aren't familiar with the brand. Tell us a little bit about what the company does.
Okay. So, Claim Shield works with agents of van lines who have chargebacks for claims.
Now,
And
what does that mean, a chargeback for the uninitiated? What does that mean, a
okay.
chargeback for a claim?
Okay.
I know
So
what claims are, right? But
a
okay.
move happens, right? And sometimes things don't go as planned.
I've heard
So
this. I've never seen it happen. I've heard. Okay, go ahead.
right.
Hypothetically, something
So
doesn't go as
accidents
planned.
happen, right?
Well,
And
actually, and so you know out there, everybody, 20% of domestic U.S. moves have a claim. I don't
oh
know if
wow,
that's higher
20?
or yeah, I don't know if that's higher or lower for international moves. If you're watching right now, I know Emily
Hmm.
Kozabowski does a lot. I know Janet Turner does a lot of international stuff. Let me know what kind of claims rate that you see from your competitors in the international space. Throw it in the comments. But yeah, so something happens 1 out of 5 times. So
Right.
then what happens, Jennifer?
Okay. So let's say if you're the booker, you're handling the claim usually, right? And everything's done the way you want it to be done. You want to, you know, pay the shipper what you owe them on the claim. Everybody's happy. Um, if you're not the booker, for something that was damaged, the booker can handle the claim or the van line can handle the claim.
Okay, and so let's define some terms again, okay, for those of us out here that don't necessarily understand.
Yep.
Tim's over here lying to the people. No claims in Western New York. Timmy's
Oh
been out the
boy,
business for a little while. He's got 12 months clean claims under his
that's
belt. He's real
awesome.
saucy. That's great. Stacy saying claims for 1 out of 5 moves. What's the average settlement? Ooh,
Mm,
now that is a great metric.
that's a
'Cause
good one.
yeah, it's one thing to put a dent in something or break a piece of glass in a frame or something like that.
Right.
But what is the average? So for those of you out there, that's claims incidence is one
Mm,
in five. How often a claim happens?
hmm.
Claim severity is how much is the average cost per claim. Those are two important
Yeah.
metrics out there. Do you have any idea on claims on average settlement there, Jennifer?
I mean,
Hazard a guess. Nobody will check it.
I would say 100, maybe 500 to 1,000.
Nice
You
broad
know,
range.
and
I think
don't
that's
forget,
probably good.
you know what?
720 I saw one time recently.
You have to pay for an inspection fee, and that could be 200 plus.
People don't realize everything that goes into a claim.
There's a lot. There is a lot.
Oh my gosh, my brain is going in a million directions. That's why it's so hard to follow me, because I'm like, what about this? What about this? Squirrel, broken glass. Okay, so all right, let's go back. Let's go back real quick to the process.
Right.
Okay, first we're going to define what it is your company does and
Right.
what the claims process is. And so
Okay.
you were talking about there's bookers and there's haulers. What is the difference between a booker and a hauler?
So a booker is the person that books the job, right? So it's their client, their customer.
Moving company A, I have an RMC. Let's just use Stacy, my friend Stacy here. Stacy works for the show here. So Stacy's at TRC Global. TRC Global sends a move to my former employer, University Moving and Storage. We are the booker. Now it's coming out of Los Angeles. It's going to Dallas, Texas. Not a power lane for us. So instead, we find a hauler within North American Van Lines. Let's say Beltman.
Yes.
And Beltman hauls it.
Okay.
And Beltman breaks something.
Correct. So my client here, the agent I'd be working on behalf of would be probably Beltman. And I would take a look at how the claim was paid. So the claim will get paid, and then the booker or the van line would pay the claim, and they'd say, okay, well, who caused this damage? And they'd probably say, the hauler caused this, and they charge back the hauler whatever portion of the claim they're responsible for, and they charge back the packer whatever portion of the claim they might be responsible for.
And how do they decide who's responsible and how much?
So there's certain rules. One might be, okay, the packer is going to be responsible for anything they pack, except when there's a crushed box. Then it's going to go to the hauler because they crushed the box.
Right. So if a customer packs their own box, those are called PBOs, packed by owner. Right. And those are Home Depot boxes or Lowe's boxes or U-Haul boxes, whatever. They're already packed when the moving company gets there. So we would write that down as PBO. And Miss Smith might have 5 PBOs. She might have some totes, some Rubbermaids. Those are all PBOs. We don't certify what's inside that, the contents, the condition of the stuff contained therein. So in that case, it's none of that's covered, is what you're saying, as long as that box, the outer exterior, doesn't show obvious damage, right? Right.
So the hauler would be off the hook unless there's exterior damage to the box.
Okay.
So basically,
let's assume it's not a PBO. It's a CP, a carrier packed box.
Right.
Then what happens?
So whoever's handling the claim, they basically decide, okay, we're going to charge this person, and this person. They pay the claim and it gets charged. So on an agent's weekly statement, you'll see claims, charges due headquarters, or maybe on the due agent side. If they handle the agent handles the claim, they're going to get paid that money. But most often, the booker or the van line will handle the claim, and the agent being charged, that money will be taken out of their, account, or it'll be on their weekly statement, right?
Yeah, and it's usually a big old number.
Yes.
And the smaller it is, the happier the agent is, and the bigger it is, the more upset the agent is. Exactly. And they don't know how does this number how did you even get here? I said 10 grand. What the heck? How did you even get here? I want some documentation. I want some backup. This is BS. There's no way I broke 10 grand with the stuff last week.
Yes. Yeah. So the proactive agents will ask those questions. There are many agents that won't. So I work with the proactive, competitive agents that want to know what these charges are. Are they responsible for it? How do you get them off the hook for it? So I do that. I audit those claims and I dispute them and try to get the liability removed.
So I'm an agent. I'm a hauler. I'm a hauler, and I'm like, Jennifer, looking at my statement this week, and I got a lot of claims. I mean, gosh, I've never seen so many claims on a statement. Right. What can you do for me? I call you up. I'm agency owner, Ben, and I call you up. What's your first step in that scenario? Like, what do you do?
So I look at all the moving documents, I look at all the claim documents, and then I see, I determine if there's any way I could dispute it.
So you go to the van line to get that information to kind of get their backup?
I get it from the agency.
The agent. Okay.
Yep.
Yep. And then you sift through all that stuff to try to find out?
I look through all the documents to determine, how I can, how the claim was handled, and what I can do to maybe eliminate or reduce that liability for the agency.
Oh my gosh, people must love you.
They do. So that's why I do this.
So really... I'm sitting back here, I'm like, 10 grand for some broken used furniture. And then you dig into it and you start digging through the docs and you're like, hey, good news, Ben.
Yeah.
I found $600 that they did not process correctly.
Yeah.
I'm like a pig in dew. I mean, that's fantastic.
That's it.
That's Ben. Fantastic.
So it's like every email I send to a driver, comes back. They're thrilled. It's like, every time I win for somebody, it's a big deal.
Because that's a great point. And usually we got Stephen Meyer checking in, who's always a household goods driver on the case. So we got a lot of comments coming in. We're gonna get in those comments. We got some great questions. I want to hear your questions about household goods claims in general, how Jennifer does what she does. Please leave those in there. We're gonna get to all of those. Your questions and comments are so appreciated. People are coming in asking questions. Do you do this? Do you do that? Do you provide for internet? We're gonna get to all that stuff. But this is a great point, Jennifer. You're not just saving, agency owner Ben, but you're saving driver Steven.
Yeah.
Driver Steven's out there busting his hump.
They work hard. They really, and when I came to this industry, I didn't know what a chargeback was. And then a claim chargeback, like, what does that even mean?
Chargeback is, here's $5, psych, I'm taking, here's $4 instead, I'm taking $1 back.
It's like these guys, a chargeback can happen for a move that happened last year. And like, oh, sorry, I hope you bought all the food for the week that your family's going to eat, because you're not going to get, you're going to get debited, $500 this week.
You thought you were going to have $2,500 this week, and you got $2 grand. Yeah. Oh my gosh, what a.
I don't know how you plan for that, but.
I mean, and imagine going to work every week and planning to not get paid what they told you were going to get paid when you started on Monday. I mean, oh, no wonder drivers hop around so much and drivers don't trust their agency and their van line because of opaque practices just like this. And they have no advocacy, they feel like.
The more I reach out to agents, I see that a lot. I see that they don't do anything until the drivers say, hey, what's this claim? Or, what are you taking money out for? And they're not represented as best as they can be.
This is great. We got tons of great comments coming in here. I love talking about this, Jennifer, because it's so practical what you're talking about, and yet it's so overlooked. And in a business that has single-digit, operating percentages on it, being able to shave off a 1% difference in a cost, 2, 3, 4% difference in a cost structure, because those claims, that's bottom line dollars.
It's the number one profit leak for an agency. In my opinion, it's claims is.
Wow, that's tremendous. Okay. So let's see here. We got people coming in here with comments. I want to hear all your comments here. Anka's gonna be at your doorstep here in 5 minutes. She's very excited. Excited for the snow and the show. The snow and the show. Hey, that could be something. All right. Let's see here. Emily. Hi, Ben and Jennifer. Really excited to glean some knowledge today. Emily, knowledge takeaway number 1. The number 1 profit leak for a moving and storage company is claims. Nori, hello. Nori from Furnished Quarters, Boston. What up, Nori? One of my favorite rappers growing up was Nori. Tim Quirk, no claims in Western New York Valley, 20%. Wow, that seems high. Just more stress for those transferees. Valerie, in corporate housing, is there claims? I'm curious, in your business out there, whether you're corporate housing, like, are there claims? Are there chargebacks? Are there short pays? I'm very curious. If you're watching this right now, throw that in the comments. Let's see here. Stacy saying, next move, I'm booking with Tim. Good luck loading that truck. I tell you what. Marilyn Pratt, hello, Ben and Jennifer from Minnesota. What up, Mary Lee? Okay, we got a question from Nori. Speaking of snow, it's snowy in Detroit. Is it snowy in New York?
It's cold in New York.
It's cold. Let's face it, none of us have been out of our house for like 5 days. Nobody knows what's going on outside. Nori says, do you see higher claims with bad weather impact? Is there a seasonality to your business?
You know, not to mine, because by the time I get the claim to review, by the time the shippers have a certain amount of time to present a claim, it could be 9 months to present the claim. And then by the time it's handled and it actually gets charged back, it could be a year. So really.
So this is so seasonality I see, right? So we joke there's a claim season in the moving business, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the estimating season, right? The new quotes calls season is that April, May, June, right? The booking season is that May, June, July. The moving season is Memorial Day to Labor Day, and it's been cut off more and more in August.
Right.
And now stuff gets delivered out of storage. And so billing season is that August, September season. Claim season in a moving business is like September, October, November. Stuff gets delivered. People usually have 9 months to file, but they usually do it pretty quickly.
And so Ben, you're making a good point, because that's really the local claims. Might have that trend, but this is ideal specifically with the interstate. So I don't touch any local claims at all. So
yeah, and so it gets delivered. I'm talking interstate too, but it gets delivered. And then they file a claim. They have 9 months to do it. Typically, they file within 60 days, and then there's about 30 days for the company to pay it. So you're in like kind of the November December timeframe, and then once it gets paid out, that's when it hits that's when it hits agency statements, right?
Right. Exactly.
And so I would think you would see a spike in your work, i.e., auditing claim files to find profit leaks, as you so aptly put it, in like December, January, February. I mean, when are you busiest?
I really don't see any trends like that yet. It's just all year round. It really is.
All year round?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see here, Nori. I think we beat that horse. All right, Tim Quirk, Stacy, I have no problem. Forget about it. Victoria, I'm coming to see you in Dallas. What up, Victoria? All right, Janet's got a question here. Janet says, how do you charge? Yearly fee, monthly, per shipment?
How do I charge?
Not enough. Just kidding. How do you charge? Yearly fee, monthly, per shipment, percentage of recovered dollar?
Right, yeah, I'm restructuring things a little bit now, and I'm going to be charging probably like a monthly.
Like a retainer?
Not even a retainer, just a monthly. It depends on the agency, how big the agency is, how many claims they have. But I do like a 30-day trial with an agent, and I tell them, give me everything you have that's within the time frame to dispute. Let me look at it, and I charge them a per claim fee during that 30-day period. And I see what I can dispute for them, and then we reevaluate the results, and then they decide, if they want to go forward. And at that point, I'll be able to determine what the amount of claims they have, and it'll be like a monthly type of fee.
I would love to talk to you about this offline as far as revenue models. I was, excuse me, a little COVID in the air. Anyway, I'm just kidding. Bad joke. Too soon? Anyway, no, but no, I'd love to talk to you about it, because I was actually just having, I'm going out on my own too, and we're talking about revenue models and everything, and I was having a conversation with an entrepreneur about revenue models, and I'm always curious to hear how people decide to charge for their services and everything. I'd love to give you some feedback on that as well, but I think this is something that's so valuable. No matter how you decide to charge for it, it's so valuable. Okay, we have a very, very good question from a very, very good friend of mine and fellow Cowboy fan, Hosea Botley. What up, Hosea? Does Jennifer provide this service for international shipments?
As long as there's a dispute process with the van line.
So, okay, let me comment on that. So in Hosea's situation, Hosea is the forwarder. So he would almost be like the van line. Here is the opportunity, I believe.
Okay.
With a unirisk, right?
Mm.
So when you have like this third party insurance company, and I hate to throw Unirisk under the bus. Shout out to Rachel Hearn, my people at Unirisk. But let's be honest, there's some profit leakage going on. I'm just saying. But anyway, so Jose, in a situation where you have an RMC client and they use, let's say, Unirisk as their third party, insurance provider, and they come back to you and say, you owe Mrs. Jones $1,000. And you're like, ain't no way I owe her more than $500. And they take it out of your statement because that's what they can do. And they short pay you $1,000.
Right.
And I do know Unirisk has a and again, hate to beat up on Unirisk, but just hypothetical. I know they have a dispute process. So in that situation, I would bet you could go to Jennifer and have her review those documents and make a case to Unirisk on your behalf. And it would probably be worth your time, Hosea, as the president of the company, because I bet a lot of that stuff falls in your lap inevitably. And it should at like $500, when there's money like that on the line. But at the same time, if Jennifer can handle it for you and free you up to grow the business and be strategic, to me, that seems like a slam dunk for me. What do you think, Jennifer?
Yeah.
Did I sell it? Did I sell it, Jennifer?
Yep. You did.
Right. Cool. I charge monthly. Anyway, just kidding, but not kidding. All right. Let's see. Janet Turner. Okay. Janet Turner has a question. These are great questions. These are the kind of questions we need. Okay. I would so much rather you ask the question than me ask the question. My job is so easy. I can focus on the Spalvini Caribbean cask right now instead. Okay. Janet Turner says, so drivers themselves take shield coverage? My emphasis there. So drivers themselves take shield coverage?
What does she mean? Do they contact
No
me
idea.
directly?
I just read the teleprompter. No, she's interpreting what you do, I think, as a coverage, which might be a little different there. So she's asking, do the drivers use your service?
Okay, so this I'm running a pilot. Oops, I'm running a pilot program right now. That's inspired by Move for Hunger.
Oh,
and
okay.
When you had Don Heineman on from Johnson Moving.
Yeah, yep. Shout out to Don and Johnson.
Yeah.
In Colorado.
So I'm thinking, how can I help more of the haulers when they, get the chargebacks? I proposed to help. Well, you have to understand, a lot of agents, they'll say to me, oh, Jen, I already have my employees doing it. They do a great job. Or we're very happy the way the van line handles the claims. We don't even check it. So we're good.
Nobody ever said that to you. I'm very happy with the way my van line handles my claims.
Yep. They don't even dispute. They don't even look at it. Then I can't have a conversation. If people are really happy, they don't know what they're losing.
True or false? Third generation mover. True
I can't. I don't.
True or false? Over under 2.5 generations in the business. Okay, sorry. Go ahead. So first generation people never let that slide. But go ahead. Okay.
So what I'm doing, what the ideas I got from Don and Move for Hunger was, what can I do now that, let's say, a hauler gets charged, and obviously the agency thinks that charge is valid, right? So they're not going to dispute it. So I'm doing a second look pilot where I'll take a look at that claim. I'll audit it. I won't charge a fee unless I dispute it and I win. So there's no risk. I'm the only one taking the risk here.
And are you working with the agents or working with the drivers in that scenario, or can anybody participate in that?
Anybody can participate, but ultimately I need the agent on board. So I did have a hauler come to me. I had 2 haulers come to me, and I told them, when you get your next charge back, they were very interested in my help. I said, no charge. Let me look at the documents, and if I feel I can make a dispute, we'll have to talk to the agent and work something out. But
My mind is going in a million directions right now. I love what you're talking about. I love this. I love this. I love this model. I think it's phenomenal. I know a lot of haulers, both in military
yeah,
and corporate,
yeah,
that would probably be on that. I mean, I'm thinking of guys like Kevin Ankerbauer at Ward and Russ, or not Russ, sorry, the people at Beltman. Wes Stewart at Stewart, who does a lot of military and has. I mean, the
yeah.
military haulers who are hauling for the large military management companies, the nationals and the TMM and the
Hmm.
interstates and the tier ones. I mean, no offense, everybody. I love you, Kara Floyd. I love all y'all. But I'm just saying, like, they're so far removed from the process. They just get a statement. To your point,
Yeah,
it's short paid, and it's like, where to go? I
yeah,
gotta think. I
yeah.
gotta think. I mean, even Janet, you're watching DN Van Lines. I know Oded sits on the claims committee at IAM, and he was telling me about the processes and stuff. I gotta think that there's a
Yeah.
huge need for your services.
And
What?
you know what I'm doing too. So with Move for Hunger, I said this is just a pilot. I just want to see, are the agents doing such a great job that I can't help them get any further results, or um, or can I? So that's where I'm at.
But
I'm
how
trying to
does it
figure
tie
that
in with
out.
Move for Hunger? Don't start auditing
So,
my food drive weight scale tickets, okay? I don't
no,
need that. All right,
no.
Jennifer. I'm trying to win trophies over
So
here.
no. So if I win, right? If I win, I will donate a portion of my fee to Move for Hunger, and then I will donate a portion. I'll donate 5% to Move to Hunger and 5% of my fee to the agent's charity of choice. So just for
Oh,
participating in my pilot.
Jennifer, I love that
Yeah,
tie-in.
yeah.
See, kind of
So
like you're making me well. I might be the Scotch, but you're making me well up a little bit here. No, this is fantastic. I love any time that we can. Tim, don't shake your head at me. I see you back there. Anytime,
Give,
Janet,
give us the instructions and we'll make a banner. Like, how do they participate?
how do they participate, Jennifer?
okay, yeah, I have a flyer. I'll send it out.
Just
Yeah,
give
I
us
want to
like,
make it a
is there like
win for everybody.
is there like an email? Like if people are watching this right now, because I can tell just by
Hmm.
the questions, if somebody wants to participate in this pilot,
Hmm.
where 5% goes to their charity of choice, maybe it's Mercy Joy Ministries to help kids in
Yes,
Uganda.
yes.
Maybe they just double donate to Move for Hunger,
Hmm.
whatever. But we're
Hmm.
10% of the
Yeah.
dollars involved go to charity. If people want to
Of
take
my
advantage
fee, of my fee, Ben.
of your fee, yeah.
Yes,
Goodness
of
of
my
our
fee. I'll donate 10% of my fee
The goodness of
if
your
I
heart,
win.
Jennifer. If you win, which you
Yes,
will, you're a winner.
which there's only a fee if I win. So
So how do people take advantage of that right now? So this is for charity. I'm all about like live telethon-y
yep.
stuff. What should they email you? What are you?
Email me, call me.
Let's put Jennifer's
Yep.
personal phone number on the internet. Okay, let's do that right now. That sounds like a good idea. No,
Yeah.
put her email up on the screen. Let's do
Yeah.
that. It's harder to
Yep.
scrape that and spam you. Yeah, sometimes we did this one time and the guy tuned in. It was really bad. But anyway, he's locked up now. He can't hurt anybody. So yeah, go ahead and put her email up there, Janet, if you would, or Stacy, and let's get that going. Great questions, everybody. I love these questions. Keep them coming here. Let's see. Oh gosh, we got a ton
You
of
know what I
people.
get to a lot, Ben?
Yeah, what do you get? No,
I get agents that tell me, and these are the owners of the agencies, and they tell me, oh well, our deductible is $50. I just pay the $50.
Wow.
Meanwhile the liability for the claim might be $2,000. So
What?
if you don't audit that and try to get that down, your deductible is going to go higher and higher and higher. Your claim
Right,
scores are
because
going to
like,
go
hey, my
through the roof.
exposure's $50, but then when TransGuard comes to you next year, or
Yeah.
Bandliner or whomever, and they sit you down at Ruth's Chris every Christmas, and they're like, hey, I got good news. I'm paying for the check. I got bad news. Your premium just went up. Hey,
So,
you know what? Look at this. We got drivers checking in right now. Sherelle Bird the third.
oh, Sherelle's awesome. Hi, Sherelle.
Sherelle, what up, Sherelle? Hi, guys. Great guest today. Nice hat, Ben. You're right on all points, Sherelle. Sherelle, I've been thinking about you, buddy. I'm meaning to text you. Hey, man, maybe you could move me, man. I'm going to Dallas soon, buddy. Love for you to move me, and If there's a claim, it will be disputed.
No, there's no claims with Sherelle.
No claims with Sherelle. 0% claims. Awesome. No, Sherelle, for real though. Watch out. I'm gonna text you, man. We're gonna do something, man. It's gonna be fun. Eric James, haulers need help. Yeah, for sure. Drivers need help.
Happy to help.
Shout out to another driver, Stephen Meyer, Tampa, Florida, waiting to deliver wreaths to Bay Pine National. Stephen was in St. Pete. Stephen is like, when Santa Claus comes around, like, and they got the NORAD tracker and like Santa's going across the globe. I feel like that's Stephen Meyer. Every day he like tunes in. He's like, St. Pete, Florida, still trucking. Tampa, got it. Orlando. I mean, he's just like dot. Anyway,
A lot of work.
I know, right? These guys are busting their butt, man. I'm just throwing a jacket and act civilized, and these guys are busting their hump all day long. Hey, and Stephen, thank you so much for the kind shout out on LinkedIn today. That was awesome. LOL, no pressure about the 0 claims. Sherelle's so wonderful. Sherelle, we got to get you back on the show too, man. Valerie, not much. Of course, we carry renters insurance. So she's talking from a corporate housing standpoint. As far as what type of claims or exposure do they have. She says, not much. Of course, we carry renters insurance on what we have in the apartments and for the apartment, right? Okay, makes sense. Because they rent furniture, stick it in there. They don't want to get the furniture damaged or the apartment damaged. But we also advise the transferee to insure anything they're bringing in, as our policy won't cover those items.
Okay.
Cool. Jesse Silva, hi, Ben from Florida. Speaking of Florida. The snow in the show at Love and Reload. Dad, stop rapping. Just stop rapping in the comments, man. I love my dad. Shout out to you, Dad. Steven, hi, everyone. We use Jennifer. She is amazing. Has saved our company, saved our drivers money, and also showed our drivers the correct way to do paperwork.
Yeah, so I love Steven.
You're billing for that, too.
I tell the guys the way it is. I know what they're doing. There's a lot that they need to do. They have to move all the stuff and they have to do all this paperwork. But I'll tell them, hey, look, you have to complete the paperwork. Otherwise, it's going to cost you money. It might save you time, but it's going to cost you money. And you want to be professional, and you have to complete the paperwork. It shows your professionalism. It really takes away from your credibility. And
just the legibility, right? I mean, some of these guys have penmanship that hasn't been seen since the 40s, right? But some of these people have the worst chicken scratch ever, and you can't be a successful driver with bad penmanship. This is one of the most underrated skills, I think, of a driver. Think about this: you need somebody who's got the stamina and the strength to lift furniture, to run a crew of professionals, who's kind of an ad hoc team, right, that they assemble, kind of sporadically, and then to do paperwork with the penmanship of an 1880s headmaster. It's incredible, because if they're not writing it out legibly, and they can't mark, what the pre-existing damage was on there, right?
Right.
You got nothing to go on, right, Jennifer?
Yeah, exactly. It really needs to speak for itself.
All right, Georgia has a question here. She wants to know about digital inventories. Okay. Are you first simple question? Are you a fan of digital inventories or not a fan?
No, they're great. That's
right.
That's
Do you
great.
prefer working from digitally produced paperwork or old school? Paperwork.
It doesn't matter. If it's easier for the guys, I want them to, whatever's easiest for them to document. That's what I'm in favor of.
You're not picky. You're like, send it. Just
No.
send me the orders. I don't care.
Send it to me.
She's a pro. She don't care. Okay, so then let's talk about George's question here. She said, let's talk about how digital inventories can reduce claims. Do you believe that digital inventories can reduce claims? You can disagree.
I don't know how different it would be from the handwritten inventories. As long as they complete, if it enables the guys to complete it, fully complete it, then absolutely. If they could put all the pre-existing stuff down, if they could write up the exceptions, if it's quicker for them to do it electronically, then I'm all for it.
So you don't really see a material difference in the outcome of your job and your process when using a digital inventory?
Not really, Ben. Hey, there might be. I might not. Maybe I can't read what some of these guys say, You know, maybe it is costing them because they have chicken scratch.
Mm-hmm,
You know, I don't know. Maybe I did miss something. I don't know.
I think it's fascinating when we take a commonly held conventional wisdom or belief like digital inventories improve, claims process. And when someone who works in the process all the time, because we don't always have people who are process level people on the show. A lot of times we get the Don Hymans of the world on the show. We don't get the, claims adjuster level people on the show. And so I think it's always interesting when people have different, counterintuitive takes. I think it's awesome.
You know, it might help because sometimes the guys they forget to sign something. Well, then it's invalid, right? If it's electronically, maybe they'll just click the button and it signs it for them.
Yeah, the signature, interesting. Well, Georgia says it would eliminate bad handwriting.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, for sure. So I guess if it's illegible, then it's a non-starter, and therefore you can't say, well, this would have been better if it was legible.
Right.
I have no idea if I could have got anything if it was legible.
Yes.
Georgia's saying videos or pictures. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so that's awesome. It's awesome. There's definitely some issues, and stay tuned. Peak season 2022. Fingers crossed I'll have something. I'll be coming out with something for the industry that would help solve that type of problem.
2022, so
peak season 2022.
Okay, all right. Okay, here we go. Hell of a teaser there. Okay.
You want to take pictures. Sometimes your camera's filled. You take the picture. You have to delete it because you have no storage in your phone. You don't remember what move it's from. You don't know who to give it to once you take the picture. So there's a whole.
It's got to be taken within the inventory app. To me,
there's many issues, but.
All right. Well, don't wait too long. All right.
I have some ideas.
I might be canceled by then. I can't promote it for you. All right. Marco says exactly. Good point, Georgia. Let's see. Eric says digital image can help reduce claims. It is a deterrent against a lot of petty stuff. Petty stuff. Digital inventories may also make it easier to log code pre-existing conditions. My thing with digital inventories is they seem like they're cumbersome. They seem like a lot of work. Like, first of all, it's hard enough writing stuff down, like, 1 comma 5 comma rub, scratch, dented, blah blah blah. Like, and then I don't know, that's tough. All right, Jack, we always got to give pride of place to Jack Jampo. So Jack says, I was laughing when I read this. I came in late to the session with the risk of getting yelled at by Ben. Jack's a risk taker. I respect that about Jack. Would you please briefly repeat what your business is about? So, Jennifer, would you tell everybody you came in late?
So I help interstate movers who are agents of a van line. I take a look at their chargebacks for claims. So any claims that the booker handled or the van line and charged it to an agent, I basically audit those claims and look for reasons, errors, anything I can do to dispute it, to remove that liability or reduce that liability on the agent, their hauler, their packer, their container, any of their roles, their warehouse roles. Anything I can do to reduce that liability, to save the agent money, to lower their deductibles, help them win awards, improve their claim scores, all of that.
Jack, do you see, I'm gonna turn this around, Jack, on you here, because this is an interactive show. Jack, do you see an application in your role? So Jack manages corporate mobility programs for a large corporation. Do you see an application for this? I mean, I see this being primarily the agent for actually the service provider of the service provider. So, I mean, Jack's kind of insulated. He gives it to the RMC gives it to the booker gives it to the hauler gets pissed. That's kind of the way I see it. But I'd love to know if Jack sees anything there as well. Let's see, Tim Quirk, Jennifer. So here's a personal question, Jennifer. How did you get into claims, or was there an aha moment that made you decide to do this job?
Yeah. So I started with State Farm. I was handling car insurance claims. I did that for 15 and a half years. They paid for me to get my MBA, and there was nowhere for me to go. So I left there, and I did some other little things for a few years, and then I missed the claims, and I applied to be a claims
You missed
manager.
the claims.
I
I've
did.
never heard those words
I
put the same.
did.
I missed the claims.
There's some good claims out there, Ben.
Yeah, really?
There, you know,
It's like good quadratic equations. I've never, there's some real doozies out there. Like, I see you like Goodwill Hunting, like on the chalkboard, just knocking out a claim.
When I remember once I was taking a statement. We used to do recorded statements, so I had a witness to a car accident, and I was taking a statement, and it was totally obvious that this was a friend of the claimant, the person that was making the claim against our insured.
What made it obvious?
Just so obvious. What color were the cars? Oh, like he didn't know any specific details. Where were you? What color was the light when you first saw it? Or how many people were in the car?
Yeah, he just thought it was gonna be like, I seen it.
Right.
And that
this person was at fault. That's it. Like.
Oh gosh, that's great.
So
I thought there was gonna be too much detail. Like, oh, it was an Arctic white Subaru. Yeah, I know. Okay, that's great. Jack, shout out from snowy Philly. All right, let's see. Janet says, do you suggest both the purchase of full valuation and claim shield?
So full valuation, absolutely, because, and this was another misconception I had coming into this. I when my mother moved, she said to me, should I take out insurance? I'm like, no. If the moving company's at fault, they're paying the claim, and that's not how it works. And I don't think she took out insurance, but the movers were great and she didn't have any claims. But definitely I would take out the full valuation.
We got some great questions here. These questions are fantastic. I love when people get involved. Shout out to everybody who's making comments right now. You're the real hero today. Marco, shout out to you in Chi-Town. Mary Lee, there is not enough education to assignees to not sign off on the driver and crew paperwork, especially if there is damage to walls or floors in their house while there. Many assignees think the company vendor will cover under the insurance. That is not the case, and now their wall may not get fixed since they signed the trucker's papers. So more education is needed in the process. Yeah, Mary Lee, you're not lying. You're not lying for sure. I mean, see both sides of that one. Hosea says, does Jennifer provide this service for GSA chargebacks or just claims? Ooh, getting after the government. So what do you think, Jennifer?
Hey, I'm happy to take a look at any chargebacks if there's a way I can help. If there's a dispute process, I could probably help. If there's not, I'm happy to look at it and have a conversation.
I think you got a client here in Hosea because the GSA is notoriously a POA. So, I think there's some opportunity there. Let's see here. Jose, I'll connect you. Did we get her email address, Janet, that we were going to put out to promote her company? Or did that happen? I don't even know. Okay, let's see here. We got some other great questions coming up. And you're still running that. Are you still running that promotion for anybody that wants to join today or kind of check you out? The 5% to Move for Hunger and 5% to the charity.
So this, it's a second look pilot. If anybody, any van line agent that is already disputing claims and reviewing the chargebacks as they pop up on their statement, if they have any claims that they feel they're 100% liable for but not disputing, send them over to me. I'll take a look. I only charge a fee if I dispute it and win the dispute right now. So that's my pilot. I just want to see if this is a viable service to offer as a way to collaborate with agents to help them get better results.
So basically they can send you their claim paperwork and you can take a look at it and say, hey, I think there's something here.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna put you on the spot here. My buddy Mark Moose.
Mm-hmm.
Did he ever get back to you with the information you needed? Was there anything there?
Yep.
Were you able to help him?
What happened with Mark?
He's over in Switzerland. He's a little crazy.
He I forget exactly what he needed to get some additional information, and I'm not sure how it did work out for him, but I gave him some ideas.
Yeah, I think his situation was with a forwarder,
right?
And I think the forwarder, due to some sort of like maybe density factor on an international shipment or something. They use something to kind of come after them and say, hey, you know, we're going to short pay you because of this. And
he needed the correct weight tickets. He wasn't given
weight tickets.
the correct weight tickets.
That's what it was. That's what
Yeah.
it was. All right, let's see here. We got some great questions here coming in. I'm going to take a look from the bottom here. Oh, goodness. We got shameless plugs. We got questions. That's when you know it's a good show, when there's shameless plugs and randoms coming in. Let's see here. Jack says, you are right. We are insulated from this. We try to make sure that there are a minimum amount of claims that are denied. So Jack's deal is, and this is the point, right? So this is the other side of the coin, right? The other side of the coin is the corporation who's trying to deliver a world-class experience in the mission of building a world-class talent brand, i.e., everybody's happy to relocate from work for Stryker. They're pressuring their RMCs and their booking agents, their movers, to approve claims, right? So we want it to be seamless. We want it to be approved before it even goes to review. We just quick claim it. Just give them what they want, make them happy, make the noise go away. And in doing so, and Jack, I'm not talking about you specifically, but I'm just talking about, like, you know, the dynamic. In doing so, people that relocate multiple times, and we see this a lot on the government side, especially the military, right? We always joke in the business that they're professional claimants because they know they move every 3 years. They know they get a new TV. They know the deal.
Right.
And so sometimes it can breed a culture of fraud might be strong, but it might not be strong. And so that's the rub, right, Jack? And so in the situation where, you know, in Jennifer's role, I think the middle ground here is, in Jennifer's situation, the claim's already been approved. It's already been paid.
Right. So, hey, look, pay as much as you want to the shipper, make him as happy as you want. But when it comes to the agent I'm doing the work for, we're not going to pay for that.
The guy on the ground doing the work. And so basically the result here is the middleman gets stuck with the bill. So the middleman being the third-party insurance company like a Unirisk, because they already paid it, but they can't get it back from they can't subrogate it against the hauling agent, or the van line who adjudicated it and paid it, but can't get it back from the hauling agent statement. They're getting stuck with the bill, or the forwarder in the case of Mr. Moose, right? MW Relo up in Switzerland or France. You know, the forwarder's getting stuck with it. So the middleman then gets stuck with it.
Exactly.
But Jack, the claim still gets paid.
Yeah. And that's what I love, because you know, when I went to
it's a victimless service.
Yes. I'm a Monday morning quarterback.
Yeah. Oh, that's the best kind.
It's great. Open. It's great.
Speaking of Monday morning quarterbacks, how about Jalen Hurts? Anyway, moving on. Let's see here. Stacy Huff. Shout out to Stacy, who's been an incredible addition to the LOVE+RELO team. What claims are the most challenging? Are there specific items that are difficult to validate, or is it not that specific?
You know, when I was handling the claims, you know, that's and I really, when I started with the agent I was with, and I was the claims manager there, that lasted maybe 6 months, and I said, you know, the shippers here, it seems like, one, they're stressed about the move. I know moving is stressful. Two, when something gets scratched, it's really, they make it seem like it's the end of the world. And it was just this industry, you know, that's tough. The claims handlers, they have a lot of it's a lot of stress. So after like 6 months of that, I said, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore, but I will do the chargebacks. And then that became my specialty. And then within 2 years after that, the agent I was with, they won 5 awards. 3 of them had a claims component. One was Most Improved Award. The other one was the Top President's Award, and then a Performance Excellence Award. And when they won those, and I knew there was a claims component, there was a component to it that the work that I did affected that and may have contributed to that. That's when I said, you know what, I'm going to help other agents. I think I'm onto something here. So with that question, I don't handle them anymore. So I'm not really sure what the answer to that would be.
I think the answer to that is, 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 I think the answer Well, what a great story though about your
Yeah. So,
clients winning awards based on part of it being low claims rate. Jack's got a great question, Jack, and I love when you ask these questions. And sometimes you'll text me like, "Should I not ask that?" No, you need to ask more questions, Jack, because this is fantastic, and I want to just sit here on this for a second. Okay, let's double click, let's unpack it, let's use whatever colloquialism we want to use. Jack says, just a general comment. Just a general comment. When you challenge an employee claim, you are saying the employee is being dishonest. We don't hire dishonest people.
well, I'm not.
Hold on. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Give it a moment. Janet's laughing. Okay.
I need more details on that one.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll take this one. All right, Jack. First of all, it's not binary. It's not black and white. There are not honest people and dishonest people. There's a spectrum of honesty. Okay, that's what I believe, at least. There's a spectrum of ethics. There's a spectrum of morality. There's a spectrum of everything, in my opinion. First of all, so there's gray area on things like this, and then there's also people who file claims for things that aren't covered.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
They file claims for damage and things that were what we call pre-existing.
Mm-hmm.
If I move a table and it's already got a scratch in it and I claim a scratch at destination, but maybe I didn't see the scratch when I got packed up before, that's pre-existing. Or maybe I filed a claim for a box that's PBO. We talked about this earlier, right? Packed by owner, right? So me and the wife are moving soon, Jack. By the way, you owe me a phone call. Just saying. But me and the wife are moving soon, right? So I pack up my Home Depot boxes, right? And we shove stuff in there. We wrap it super great. And we tape it and whatever. And Sherelle Bird III, the most amazing mover in the world, he moves it for me, right? And I'm like, hey, Sherelle was amazing. His guys were great, super great COVID protocol, super professional, doors, floors, everything was protected, loved them. But you know what? I opened this box and all my glassware was broken. I'm filing a claim. Well, sir, that's PBO, i.e. packed by owner, i.e. not covered. Well, he handled it and I swear he dropped it. Well, there's no exterior damage to the carton. Therefore, there's no evidence that it was any handling issue. It was likely just road vibration and flimsy packing on the inside. I'm very sorry about your wedding stemware. So I mean that's just like a thing where it's not like there's people who are fraudulent. I mean, that's just like an honest mistake. I mean, I tried to file a claim with my homeowners due to some damage to the drywall around my shower, and I looked up my policy and it doesn't cover seepage.
Yeah,
it doesn't cover seepage. Excludable. These are excludable items. So I think that there's a lot of gray area and a lot of nuance there.
Ben, there is. And what you just said,
right.
What you just said about PBOs, the van lines will say, hey, look, if the haulers need to shake that box, and if it's loose and they feel it needs to be repacked, it needs to be repacked. Otherwise, they're on the hook. So if they take that box and there's damage, you can make an argument that the hauler is at fault. So you have to know both sides of the argument.
Yes. Yeah. And in some situations, some programs like the military allows for no PBOs. They have a no PBO policy. Does it mean that people don't pack their own boxes? Yes. It just means it can't be written down as PBO, which is to say not covered. It has to be listed as CP. And so therefore you have to inspect and verify that carton, repack as necessary, retape and label, etc. Now to Janet's point, no offense, Jack, but they're professional claim filers. Janet's been around. Janet knows the deal. Janet's got clients. She's been in the game for a long time.
Yeah.
17 years, Wise Enterprises. Janet knows her stuff, okay? No offense, Jack. There's professional claim filers. Tim says, I love when people start going back and fire, shots fired in the comments. Jack Jampel, they're not saying the claim is invalid. They're saying the liability to the agent is wrong. Is that incorrect? Is that correct, Jennifer?
Yeah. So it could be the liability is incorrect. It could be they paid the claim too much. They overpaid it. It could be they just they should have denied it. Whatever. There's so many reasons that I dispute claims, but that's my specialty. And I see that the agents that have employees doing it, because when I was an employee, when I was a claims manager and I was doing the disputes as well as handling all the local claims that came in, all the commercial claims that came in, I knew, you know, the claims in front of me, the shipper on the phone, they were the priority. So the disputes, everything that was already paid was not a priority.
Yeah,
So,
and again, and to restate, Jennifer, what Jennifer was saying is the shipper does not get in the middle of Jennifer's actions.
right.
The shipper the claim has already been adjudicated, resolved, paid out, etc.
Yep.
Jennifer's just kind of sorting out internally where the liability falls. Does it fall with the booker? Does it fall with the van line agent? Does it fall with the RMC? Does it fall with the agent that serviced the shipment, the driver, etc.? So Jack, your shipper's not in the middle.
Right.
However, Jack brings up good points. When enough of this activity does go on, the middleman who is getting caught in the middle realizes, whoa, I'm getting pushed back on a lot here. I don't know. I'm going to have to be a little more stringent and scrutinize some of these things more. I mean, there is potentially a secondary or third order effect here where they become a little more, they scrutinize a little more, and Jack's transfer becomes in the middle of it. Jack says you have examples, and Jack's big on examples. I don't know why. But anyway, he says you have examples to support your costs. However, I can provide many examples to support what I'm saying as well. Jack, please do. Please let me know situations where a transferee has not been paid out on something, and maybe perhaps it was unfair. Very curious. I'd love to know just kind of, specifics. Protect the innocent, redact the names, but let me know seriously, Jack, because I mean, I think we're getting down to something here. Go ahead,
well, Jack's company, he would probably be a national account for somebody, right?
Yes, he would.
Right. So they're already VIP. So if an agent has a VIP account and wants to handle it that way, and that's fine. And if they want to pay, $3,000, $4,000 or $5,000 for a mattress, that's $1,000. They can do that. But then when it comes to me, and I'm representing an agent that's being charged back for that, we're only going to pay the $1,000, and I'm going to get that removed. So it's going to be a short pay for the agent that has that national account. If they want to code that as a customer service gesture or something differently, but I make sure that full amount is not allocated to the agent that hold it.
Yeah, and you know what, Jack, I want to bring up another point here. Because up until Friday, I was a national account salesperson for a large van line agent. And part of what goes into figuring what kind of discount van lines can offer to national accounts like you is what percentage of the revenue they believe will be paid out in claims. So for us, we looked at an effective bottom line discount. I shouldn't say for us. Hypothetically, there's companies out there that look at an effective bottom line discount. And that effective bottom line discount is the discount percentage that you get plus 1.5%. And then, so now if the discount was, I'm not going to use real numbers here, but if the discount was 50% off the tariff, and then you're going to add a 1.5% on top, so your effective bottom line discount to that client is 51.5. And there's limits basically built in that say we can't offer much more of a discount. And so my point, Jack, in saying this is to say, here's why you care. So the question is, why do I care? Here's why you care. Because it limits how much of a discount I can offer to Stryker Corporation, because we've kind of taken actuarial view at your account, and we say your account basically is worth 1.5 points of discount, or 1.5 your risk is worth 1.5 points of discount. So we put that on top and we say your effective bottom line discount is 51.5%. So it does actually impact the price to the corporation. Now, Jack, I know Jack. And Jack's saying to me, he's probably screaming at the screen, but I don't care. I want a good employee experience. He's sitting there with his Mic Ultra and he's screaming at the computer right now. He's like, I don't care. And that's cool. That's cool, Jack. I think there's companies out there that probably rake movers over the coals for discounts. So I'm sorry. I'm on a soapbox here. Jack says great points, Ben. It means I wore him out. He's not agreeing. I just wore him out. Appreciate you, Jack. You know, I love you, man. Janice says, does Jennifer work with insurance carriers as clients? That's interesting. Do you work on the other side? Go over to the dark side every once in a while?
No, I haven't.
That's where the money is, though. Honestly, that's where the money is. You're over here helping drivers. I mean, God bless them. Love drivers, but you know, just saying, might be something. I've talked a lot, and I'm passionate about this because I know the drivers work so hard, and I know the agents, you know, are trying to make more with less every year. And I think what you're doing is super, super important. I think it's needed. I don't think it's nearly utilized nearly enough. I want to talk to you a little bit offline about how maybe I can kind of work with you and help you a little bit on that, because I think I can make some really great referrals. But Jennifer, is there something I want to give you the last word here? Is there something that we need to be thinking about?
I don't know. As far as what, Ben?
Anything you want to talk about, the floor is yours.
That's it. Are these closing remarks?
These are closing remarks.
You know, I just I want to say this because I see a lot on LinkedIn, and you know, people looking for opportunities, and you know, with everything going on, and we probably all know somebody. I just want to say this. You know, people need to look, you know, at themselves, and now might be a good time to do what makes them happy. If they're not in the right place of employment, or you know, they've always wanted to own their own business or do something, but encourage them, try to help them, and tell them to just go for it. You know, now's the perfect time. We're not going to be, you know, we can't keep procrastinating our dreams and procrastinating the things that we really want to do that's important for us and our families. So just encourage somebody to take action and do it.
Wow, that's timely. That's awesome, Jennifer. Thank you so much for saying that. And I think that's great advice out there. And thank you to everybody that tuned in today. Really appreciate you all getting involved. Janet Turner was personally moved here, it looks like. But no, I love this topic. Jennifer Anderson from Claim Shield, thank you so much for being here today.
Yeah, you're welcome. Thanks, Ben. Appreciate you having me.
Oh, it's been an honor and a blessing. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Tune in tomorrow. I believe we have Christina Blondheim on tomorrow. Can I get a thumbs up from the backstage crew there? Do we have Christina Blondheim? Yes, we do. We have Christina Blondheim on tomorrow. I knew that already. From PCH, one of my favorite people to chat with. So look forward to that. And thanks everybody who got involved in the comments. People just really enjoyed this. I could tell by the engagement. So we will see you tomorrow at 4 o'clock Eastern. Thanks everybody. Have a wonderful evening. Take care.
Bye-bye.